Part 1. This story begins as the ancient mariner approaches a wedding guest. He begins his tale with the setting being on a ship, along with 200 other sailors. This was a tale of defeat, if you must call it, and penance. As soon as the ship started heading south, once at the South Pole, they realized that there was a storm and it blew them off course. During this storm, they found an albatross, a symbol of good luck to most sailors. This albatross soon found itself a pet upon the mariner's ship. The mariner had no reason, nor rhyme, to shoot the bird, but he decided so anyway. End of Part 1. Part 2. As the story continues, the wedding guest is confused, wondering if the man he's talking to really is cursed. Back on the ship, soon drought and lack of water consumes the crew. They curse the man who had shot the bird by hanging it around his neck to show his witness to such a crime, to murder one of nature. End of Part 2. Part 3. As we left off, the mariner had the albatross hung around his neck. His crew was slowly dying of dehydration, and so was he. While still at sea, the mariner and his crew soon sees a ship on the horizon, but one that is coming closer without a burst of wind. As the ship approaches, they soon realize that death himself is controlling it, crewed only by life and death. A woman-esque figure. When at last it comes to the ship, they hear, "I win! I win!" And thus, the crew slowly falls, one by one, cursing the mariner. End of Part 3. Part 4. As our story continues, we find ourselves with the wedding guest questioning the mariner if he is a ghost. The mariner replies, comforting the guest, saying that he is not, but he has been given a curse by life and death. He remains vigilant to his story, saying that he was all alone with the bodies of his fellow crewmen. He looked down into the water and saw snakes. Slimy things, he thought, but soon he realized as they shed their skins that they were in fact beautiful, happy in fact. He blessed them, and so the albatross around his neck loosened and dropped into the water, breaking the curse. End of part 4. Part 5. After the albatross fell into the sea and the curse was broken, so to speak, the mariner found himself on the deck, falling asleep finally. During this rest, he realized that it started raining and the wind to blow. And so with this thought, he wondered. He thought. And he began to see with clear eyes. End of part 5. Part 6. The mariner woke up after realizing that the curse was broken, and he found himself in a trance, listening to two angels speak, talking about moving him. And so they disappeared, only for him to awaken from this trance, and to see his crew there, standing, working, as though he could not tell why, but he could still see the curse in their eyes, and he could not lift his to pray. But as soon as they reached the port, he realized that all good things must come to an end. He saw his homeland once more, and his spirits soon fled from the bodies of which they occupied, as he soon saw a ship, a boat, of that of the hermit. End of part 6. Part 7. At this point, the hermit was slowly approaching, seeing the ship that the mariner was once on. It was slowly sinking, but in a vast whirlpool. The mariner heard from one of the crew of the hermit's boat, "Throw him a life ring." And thus, this was the reply.
That was the worst throw ever. Of all time. Not my fault. Someone put a wall in my way.
And so the mariner found himself swimming towards the boat, and as soon as he got in, the oarsmen saw, in disbelief, and the hermit saw and said, "The devil knows how to paddle." And so he paddled to shore and asked for forgiveness. He explained to the wedding guest why he must tell his story, and the moral of the story is to love all of nature. and so he must travel only by land to a certain person to speak, for this is his curse and his penance. End of part 7.
Pray for the day that the lies don't find you. Pray that the end isn't right behind